My unit is on Lawrence Yip's novel, Dragon Wings. This is a great historical fiction which allows me to integrate technology, multiple intelligences, Bloom's taxonomy, and California state standards of English. Reading comprehension. Students will be able to identify and find information within the text of the causes and effects, chronological order of events, predictions about text. Writing. Students will be able to read and respond to questions about the text. They will be able to write coherent sentences and paragraphs. Listening and speaking. Students will be able to ask appropriate questions, summarize major ideas, and understand the region and the cultures behind the story. History. It will touch on immigration to California between 1850 to 1900s, including those who came, the countries of origin, and their relative locations, conflicts among diverse groups, and the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882. In science, students will understand how the Earth changes its form. In math, students will demonstrate understanding about geometric shapes, angles, and how it attributes to science and building a kite to fly in the sky. In Bloom's taxonomy, it is filled with verbs for students to be actively engaged in learning for the academics. Bloom taxonomy has 6 cognitive domains, and they are: number 1, remember, to define, name, record. Number 2, understand, is to summarize, describe, discuss. Number 3, application, demonstrate, implement, discover. Number 4, analyze, compare and contrast, experiment. Number 5, evaluate, judge, forecast, choose. Number 6, create, hands-on projects, design, produce. Dragon Wings is packed with lots of projects oriented for every style of learning. What I have learned is that there are 8 different types of multiple intelligences. If we can even tap into 3 of them, we will reach a majority of the class, exception for a few students that are fully one side of the spectrum of learning strengths. This is how I will incorporate technology, Bloom's taxonomy, and the 8 multiple intelligences in order to enhance and lift learning to a whole new level for students to be academically engaged in learning. Podcasting is great for the musical and auditory learner. Musical auditory learners are called the listeners. They love to create and listen to lyrics, music, and rap. Podcasting is the tape recording radio of today's technology. I will have the students use music to set the mood or the stage of various immigrants coming over to America. Verbal linguistic intelligence. They love to talk, are able to learn different languages, and words come easily to them. They are our writers, linguists, and political leaders. They enjoy poetry, storytelling, writing, and debating. These students are going to do a debate on the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882 versus the United States. They will keep a blog on each chapter of the book and research information about stereotyping, prejudice, and the facts and opinions behind the Exclusion Act. Visual intelligence are the eyes. They will use their skills illustrating, downloading pictures from the internet, and or taking pictures with a digital camera to create storyboards on PowerPoint. The visual learners are our creative artists, clothes designers, architects, and cartoonists. Interpersonal intelligence are great conversationalists and are able to size people up. They are the peacemakers. They enjoy discussions, group activities, and interviewing. These students will be interviewing immigrants coming from various countries and making a video of their interviews. The logistical learners are our mathematicians. They are great keeping things in order. These students will be using the Excel program on their computers and making up a historical timeline of events that happened to the main character's journey in America. The intrapersonal learners are self-taught and are able to analyze their personal strengths as well as others. They will be using Microsoft Word to do character analysis. The naturalist intelligence are the survivalists. They save the world we live in, the animals, and find ways to keep the environment clean. My unit in the area of science will cover the 1906 San Francisco earthquake. Students will use their computers and surf the internet to discover how earthquakes start, make a survivor list of items on Microsoft Word, and write about what would they do in various situations to keep themselves and others safe from harm. Kinesthetic learners are students who just can't keep still. They are going to be making kites and flying them. They will research the Wright brothers and write a paper to compare kites to planes. Kinesthetic learners are our actors, actresses, athletes, dancers, and builders. In this course, I learned that in order for me to reach and teach my students, I must incorporate as many intelligences as I can into the lessons for them to learn successfully. Get to know them first, their background, and especially in the way they learn best. Students can get frustrated in learning, especially when their learning style is not how you deliver lessons to them. Students who work within their intellectual strengths promote self-confidence, greater understanding, motivation for learning, respect for their fellow classmates who have different learning strengths, and greater willingness to work with others. Let me leave you with this. Do not train a child to learn by force or harshness, but direct them to it by what amuses their minds, so that you may be better able to discover with accuracy the peculiar bent of the genius of each. Plato, the Greek philosopher.